No, I'm good. No, thank you, no. All right, we got the Lady Rough Riders 14AA team for the state playoffs. Our first game is going to be against the Colorado Spring Tigers. Lady Rough Riders are in their darks. The Tigers are in their white and yellow. Got about 2 minutes left of this warm-up. I don't even play hockey.
So how are you so like knowing it like nonstop? Like that's.
I fail probably most of the time, but that's okay.
But anyway, it's actually like so. It's really funny. I was saying to John, don't you think he should be a professional? Because I was like, yeah, you know, just it's not a comic sport, and somehow you make it very comic. I was saying, sometimes I think like tonight, I'm probably not going to spend when I go to these things live.
All right, warm-ups are over. The girls are going to do their Let's Go Riders. We're going to have 14-minute periods, and we'll get started here in about a minute and a half. right, here we go. Looks like we got Jesse coming out for a face-off. Sammy on this near side, Paige on the bar, with Andrea and Harper S out here on D. Already down in the Tigers zone as Jesse picks it off down in that far corner. Paige is backing her up. Jesse goes down on her knees, pops right back up. Puck's back behind the net. Paige, we're putting a ton of pressure on this evening. Andrea stops before it goes across the blue line. She puts it back down to the goal net. Sammy and Paige are putting some pressure on. Puck's back down on this inside wall. Gets to Harper S. Harper puts it along the wall up to Paige. Paige grabs it. Gets picked off there. Tigers are getting across the neutral zone. They've got one runner, but we're covering her as all but one of them. Harper S is taking it down the center of the ice. She's in the zone. She puts it in deep. Tigers have already changed out their line. We still got the same line. Looks like Andrea came in, or Andrea off. Harper O is on. Harper O is putting a cross up so Sammy gets past her. Shot toward goal, but goes a little wide. Tigers resetting in their zone, but Ori's putting some pressure out there with Lemon now and Josie. It's like Ads is on there, so we've changed out our entire starting lineup there. Harper O is picking it up back in our neutral zone. She's got one trailing her. She passes up across the wall. It gets up and pass. Should not be an icing, even though it just went through everybody on Tigers' team, but there's a Braille joke in there somewhere with refs, but we won't say it too much. We have Lemon doing our face-off here. Looks like Ads, Ori, Harper O, and Josie still. Puck's up and out of our zone. Tigers are trying to reset down here below. They put it back into this inside corner, hits the back of the net. Josie picks it up. Josie with that long reach, it's a game changer. Josie picks it off one of the Tigers again on this inside circle. But got stuck on the wall here. She puts it down to the blue line. Ori's putting some pressure on it as the Tigers relay it into our zone. All the Tigers just changed out. Fast forward up to Maeve. It actually hit her skate so hard that it took her off her skates there, but we're resetting here. Tigers picked it up at the blue line on a pass. Josie's got it on that far circle. She gets it up to Maeve right in front of the Rough Riders bench. She gets it across. Long pass. Colley lost an edge here right at the face-off dot. Tigers brought it all the way down. Shot on goal. Bounces off Cora. Goes over in that far corner. It's like Jessie's back on the ice here. She's got two on each side of her. She got picked off there by one of the Tigers. She's putting some good poke checks on there as forcing them to go out to their D line. Inside circle here as Maddie Benish and Jessie are putting some good pressure on. Shot toward goal off of Jessie over to Maeve. Maeve's taken out of the zone straight across. There's so much traffic. Everyone got caught up. Puck got turned over there before we got into the zone. Paige popped on the ice. She put it forward. Another turnover. Back to Georgia. Georgia over to Paige. Paige is chasing it down. It was a little bit warm. Paige puts it back across. Maddie Benish saves a blue line shot toward goal. Their goalie smacked it away. Sammy's over in that far corner. Andrea catches the Tiger player trying to get it out of the zone. Sammy's battling down there on that far circle. They're able to push it up and out. Lemon picks it up. She's looking for an open pass. She puts it straight down the center. And that is a terrible offside call, but it's against the Tigers, so we'll take it. We're all the way down to 9:57 in this first period. Lemon's doing our face-off. Ori's on this near side, Ads on the far side. Good tie up by Lemon. She's still battling for it. Comes down right down below. It's right at this red line. She's getting backed up by Ori. Adds staying open here. Goes across to the Tigers. Oh, total tie up there right at the center and neutral zone. We got one player bringing it in. They take a backhanded shot. Lemon was putting some good pressure on her, forcing her to take a shallow shot or light shot. Puck's back in the neutral zone. Ori's putting some pressure on. Ad stops it from a pass forward. Ori puts it all the way across on this inside corner. Grayson's down here putting some pressure on. Puck goes all the way across. Harper skating toward the puck and runs into one of the Tiger players, but no call. So back and forth. Harper's taking it across the zone. She's in. She's looking for a pass back, gets to Maeve. Maeve gets tied up just as it goes out of our zone. Andrea gets a good shoulder on the girl, but it is going to be a call as she was right up against the wall. That sure looked like she was playing the puck, and the ref called it against Rough Riders anyhow. We're down to 8:48. We're going to be on a penalty kill. Andrea's going to go hang out. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't against Andrea. That was against Maeve. I didn't even see what happened there. We have Harper S. Ori shot toward goal. Thankfully, it went wide because we were tied up and distracted there. Georgia and Harper S. back here on D. Lemon and Ori out here on this penalty kill. Shot went somewhere. Everyone is looking for it. Puck went out of the zone. Ori's putting pressure as the Tigers are trying to reset in the zone. They put it across, gets to Harper S. Harper S is looking for an open pass, gets to Lemon. Lemon gets tied up at top of the crease. Shot toward goal, goes way wide, hits the back of the glass. Tigers trying to get it centered. Harper S picked off the pass. It's out of the zone. Harper S is going in for a shorthanded. Got stuck in the skates on a Tiger player. Now they're rushing back into the zone. George is putting some back pressure on. Ori gets a swipe at it. No shot toward goal. They pass it, but it was a hot pass. Got tied up on Ori and Harper. They're putting so much pressure on this penalty kill, which is exactly what we need. 15 seconds left. They take a shot, and Cora saw it coming. She got it in the glove. Fantastic penalty kill effort there. 15 seconds and Maeve is out. Looks like we have Jesse, Paige, Andrea, and Josie out here for the last 15 seconds. Josie puts it up to Paige. Paige picks it up on her inside. She passes back. Andrea gets to it on that far corner. She digs pretty good. She loses the edge on her skate, kicks it forward, gets up to Jesse. There's a penalty call. Tripping call on number 12 on who has been a major pusher getting into our zone. So it'll be all right if she is sitting on the bench cooling off. 90-second penalty play, power play. We're down to 7-11 in this first period. Jesse's doing the face-off. Josie and Harper S are on D. Josie takes a shot, gets it forward, bounces off one of the Tigers players. It's back behind the net. Tigers are bringing it in on a penalty kill. Nice pickoff on Josie on number 57. Harper's got it. She's taken out of the zone. Passes across. Tips off of Sammy. And actually, their goalie's covering up. And they never blew the whistle. Sammy gets in there, pushes on it. Puck is back across the ice into our zone. Lemon's on the ice. She picks it up on that far wall. Back behind Cora. 45 seconds. Harper S calls for it. She's gets it batted forward. One of the Tigers picks it off as it goes forward. Paige gets in there, puts some extra pressure on. Josie is bringing it around that outside edge, outside circle, across the blue line. She's got two in front of her. She gets past, long reach, takes a shot off the goalie. Oh, rebound back behind. She picks it up again. She only got one on her. Gets over to Paige, back behind the net. Turnover there on that far circle as they bring it into our zone with a final 10 seconds. They take a shot, Cora bats it away. Lemon's down in the far wall as the penalty or the power play is over for the Rough Riders. Harper's backing her up. Harper bats it forward to Sammy. Sammy relays it, hits their D right across the blue line. She's waiting. Gets back to Maeve, to Harper, back to Lemon, back to Josie, back to Harper. Harper's looking for an open pass. She puts it forward. There is a flat-out check from behind by number 73 on Maeve, as you hear all the unhappy Rough Rider parents puck down into their zone. We're going to have to watch number 73 on the Tigers' D line. Harper O picks it up back behind the goal line. She's got one on her. Gets over to Harper S. Harper S gets up to Maeve. Maeve's now taken out of our zone. She's looking for an opening. She gets tied up. Too much traffic. Puck turnover there. That same Barton player, is taking a shot from the crease. Not to be confused with our Barton Page player. Puck's over here in this corner. Maeve's fighting it off. Georgia picks it up. She's got two on her. She gets it up to Maeve. Wild guess, the Tigers have a mandate, two on the puck at all times. Georgia plows through, puck went in and out of the zone. Grayson over to Harper O, back on D. Harper O up to Maeve. Maeve's bringing it in. She tries to center the puck. Tigers grabbed it out of the air and put it back down, trying to get it out. Coming around on this inside wall. Putting on speed, gets caught up on Harper O. Harper O gets a turnover right here. Maeve's trying to get it back into the zone. They're back into our zone again. Harper O and Lemon are putting some pressure on. It gets back to their D player, takes a shot. Foot wide of the net. They center a pass, and Harper O saves it, gets it over to Lemon. Lemon up to Ads. Ads gets up to Ori. Ori's taking a shot. She gets flat out tripped right in front of the net. Looks like they're just going to do a face-off. Penalty shot would be fantastic right now with 3:14 left. But instead, we're doing a face-off on that far circle. We have Jesse, Paige, and Sammy, Harper S, and Josie back here on D. Changing out some of the Tiger players there at the last moment. Jesse pushes it forward. Their D line picks it up. Paige is putting pressure on, forcing her to cut back. Try and get it out along that line. Paige cuts her off. Sammy picks it up. She gets tripped. Where is the... Oh, we got a goal. Sammy had it off the goalie. There's a rebound. Jesse chipped it up and over the leg. Goal, Jesse, at 2:58 in the first during a power play. Harper Owen for Harper S. Josie's back here on D. Paige this near, Jesse on the center, and Paige on that far side. Good face-off win by Jesse. Gets back to Josie. Josie to Harper. Harper to Paige. Come on! That was a shoulder check right in front of the ref, and he didn't even do a call. Josie up to Sammy up in this corner. We're over on that far wall there. Jessie keeps it in. She bats it forward. Their D-line picked it up. Paige is putting some pressure on. They put it up to their forward. Forward puts it up open air. One of their forwards came forward. We have Josie, Harper, and Lemon out here putting pressure as she gets in here. That same Barton player goes in for a shot off of Cora. Cora blocked the side backhanded shot and covered it up. No rebound. We're down to 2:01. Lady Rough Riders lead Colorado Spring Tigers by 1 goal. We have Lemon doing our face-off. Maddie Benish here adds, looks like Ori and Georgia. Someone passed it up to Ori. I missed it in the mix of things down there. It goes in and out of our zone. Back to Ori. Ori puts it across, but their D-line picked it up. They're driving it into the zone. Ori's doing some back check, and Maddie Benish gets in the way, stops any kind of advance. They do a centering pass, and it goes through the legs on the Tiger right in front of Cora. George is picking up on this inside corner. She's taking it. She gets cut off, but their D caught it at our blue line, kept it in. George is picking it up. Ref's in the way. Gets back up to Ori. Ori's just shoveling it, getting out of the zone. It gets out. Ori's got it right down below. She's in the zone by herself against 3. Shot on goal. Puck is loose. Oh, we needed a rebound right there. Colley comes in, gets a turnover there right inside their zone. Again, Grayson gets a piece of it. Grayson's out front. She's got a shot. Oh, it just goes wide. Looks like the girls are figuring out the refs aren't going to call anything but tripping calls or icing. It's going to get pretty rough out here. Georgia keeps it from going in the zone. Maddie Benish bats it into the Tiger zone, goes in and out. They're right down below us. Let me see if I pan down here. Maeve comes off the bench, brings it in, catches a pass. Puck in and out of their goalie's glove. Their D-line picked it up. They're passing it forward. The ref's in the way. Goes out of the zone. Andrea and Maddie Benish back here in front of one. Shot toward goal. It goes way wide. Maddie Benish down here battling against this inside wall. Puck gets centered. That same Barton player is down here with the final 3 seconds. Maddie Benish bats it away from her. Goes over in that corner. Fantastic first period by the Lady Rough Riders. Lead the game going into the second by 1 goal. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. Here we go, coming into the second period of the game. 14 minutes on the clock. Rough Riders up by 1. Looks like Jesse's coming out on point. Sammy's on the near, Paige on the far, Harper S and Andrea on D. Good face-off win by Jesse. Gets to Page. Page drives it into the zone quickly. Pucks back behind the Tigers goalie. Page just goes in and shoves the player first before even playing the puck. Like I said, the refs aren't calling anything as Page gets shoved over in this near corner. They get it back to Harper. Harper takes a shot, but it's up and off. Glances off the Tiger player. Puck's loose as they're taking it out of the zone. Right below as Andrew gets a poke check. Page doing some back checking. That same Barton player on the Tigers playing solo warrior out here trying to get a open shot. Gets back to one of their D players. Puck goes wide. Looks like the nets. Looks like the net it was stuck in the net. Got chipped up and out by the Rough Riders. The ref pointed at, I think it was Jesse. We're going to have a face-off there on that far circle as we change out the line. Lemon adds Harper O, Josie, and looks like Mays trailing coming off the bench up here. We're down to 13-13 in the second period. Lemon wins that face-off. She gets tripped up on the player. Puck gets put forward. Maeve has just the 2D, one coming in behind. Puck gets turned over there on this near circle. They do a centering pass from Lemon, but there's no icing or no offside call. That's nice, ref. Josie's at the top of the point, takes a shot, glances off one of the Tiger players. Adds down there putting some great pressure. Lemon's backing her up. Puck's all the way across the ice. And it is going to be an icing call. The last moments Josie was just getting there. You just never know if they're going to let it fly. Face off in Tiger zone with 12:34. Looks like we have Maddie Benish, Georgia back here on D, Grayson, Sammy, and Holly Grayson. Well, the ref went in there and just dropped the puck immediately. I don't think anybody was ready for it. Tigers take the puck. Banish saves the blue line, but pops up and out. Goes over into that far wall. Tigers put it across. They pass beautifully right to Grayson. Grayson bats it out. Turnover here right down below as Georgia picks it up. Gets caught up in the skates of two different players. There's that Barton player again. Some flat out side check on Georgia from that Barton player. Shot toward goal, bouncing puck, glances off Cora. Goes down that corner, Grayson loses an edge. Puck goes back around this corner. Georgia gets it. Excuse me. Turnover there as Georgia's just putting pressure down there with Sammy. Barton's doing some poke checks on Sammy from behind down there. Pass forward from Georgia, pucks across the ice. It's going to be an icing call. We're down to 11:29 in the second period. Looks like we have Jesse, Harper S, Andrea, Josie, and Paige coming out on the ice. Shot on goal. Well, there's a whistle call. I think he blew it prematurely, even though the puck was still loose. We'll thank the ref as the puck. There was a rebound there. Now they're discussing things on between the refs. Same play, same shot, same person who took shot in Cora. There's a rebound again. That was like an instant replay from that first offside call against the Tigers. Have a face-off here right on the blue line. Oh, now we're going to do it in center ice. Looks like one of the refs are in training. The other ref is telling the younger one what to do. Puck gets tied up there at center ice between Jesse and their center. They're now bringing it into the zone. Andrew's in the way, stops any kind of shot. Jesse's putting some back pressure as the puck goes back behind Cora. Puck, they're trying to center, but there's nobody in front of the net. Except at the top of the crease. Tigers are trying to find an open spot. Andrea, what was that call? Hooking call. Hooking call on Jesse. I don't know. We're down to 10:43. Ref told Jesse what she did, but I didn't see it. We have Lemon coming out here for this penalty kill. Harper O. Looks like Georgia and Sammy. It goes up in the air. They're deep at it down. Lemon pushes it forward. Sammy's going on a short-handed. Oh, tried to get through the legs. She lost her stick. Puck is down into her zone. They do a centering pass. Harper O and Lemon. Puck bounces off court, comes back out. Harper O bats it out across the ice, nice and slow. Ads just popped on the ice for Sammy. Georgia puts it across, goes past all the D. Puck's on its way down. Ads is getting to it first, no icing. Tigers pick it up, bounce it off the wall, pass to Harper O. Harper O bats it back. There's a little badminton game here going between Harper O and the Tigers. Puck's loose out in the neutral zone. They're bringing it in. Look at that. Number Barton player here is bringing it all the way down behind Cora. She does a pass up to the D line, who has all the time in the world here as we're on a penalty kill, shorthanded. Back to Barton, takes a backhanded shot, and she puts it in on the side of Cora at 9:32. Game is now tied up. Looks like we have Maddie Benish and Harper S out here on D. Josie, Jesse, and Paige doing the lineup. Face-off win by the Tigers. They do a centering pass. Definitely wasn't a shot. Harper S backhands it across behind the boards, back to Maddie Benish. Maddie Benish bats it up to Josie. They take a shot from the D line, the blue line. Some back and forth. They're trying to get a centering pass shot on goal, but it hit one of their own players. Paige picks it up. Turnover there right at the blue line. Harper S picks it up through the legs. She kicks it down into this inside corner. She gets to it first. She's looking for an open pass. Centering pass to Josie. Oh, it was right there. They had a D right in front of Josie. Josie fights for it back. It goes loose. Paige centers it again. Josie gets it again over to Harper. Puck is loose. Harper gets blown down. Josie gets knocked down. Where are the calls, ref? All right, I take that back. I'm going to start making Braille jokes because they're blind. Josie's down here in this near corner. Puck up and out. They're rushing it in. Jesse gets a piece of it. Paige is on the back. They take a centering pass, goes across the ice, shot toward goal, but it goes back behind. Paige gets it up and out of the zone. It's across the ice. No icing. We're down to 7:56 in this tied up game in the second. Puck's right down below us. Sorry, I didn't pan down. Jesse's putting some good back pressure. Backed up by Benish. They take a shot right from the blue line, goes right to Benish. Benish bats it off the wall, gets right over to the center. Harper S kicks it away from Cora, goes into that corner. Puck's out of the zone. Grayson's chasing down the D player in the Tiger zone. Puck's loose. Maid gets a piece of it. Colley got it, put it back in the zone. Maid picked it up again. Back to Benish. Benish's got one on her. Quick stick by Benish. She got it out of the zone with a offside call against the Tigers as they tried to rush it back in. We'll have a face-off right here at the Rough Riders blue line. Grayson doing the face-off. She gets it over to Andrea right in front of the Tigers. Oh, she got caught up on the something down there. Now she's battling hard right in front of the Tigers bench. One Tiger goes down. Pretty sure I just heard a whistle. There's a second whistle. Blow the whistle harder, ref. The girls didn't even hear it. Now there's another face-off right in front of the Tigers. Face-off win by Grayson, gets back to Andrea. Andrea kicks it out. Now it's stuck over in that far wall. Get ready for the whistle. Nope. They get it out over to Andrea. As puts it across the neutral zone. Their D picked it up. There's that Barton player trying to get it out of the zone. She passes forward. Get on a cherry picker up here, trying to get in the zone. Grayson has time to get over to it. They panic and dump it back behind Cora. All right, puck's up and out. Looks like we have Ads chasing up to it. Maeve's backing up. We get it back in the zone. Their player does some stick handling there, gets into our zone. That is an offside call against the Tigers. Lemon, Ads, and Ori out here on the front line. Josie and Harper O back here on D. Puck back and forth here on the dot. Tigers push it into the zone. Harper O picks it up, but she's got one behind her. She wins out, but she's got two in front and back. They do a centering pass. Lemon poked through there. She's all the way across the neutral zone. Shot on goal by Lemon from the neutral zone. Rebounds there, gets back to Harper O. Harper O takes a shot, glances off the post. Back to Harper O again. They try and put it across the ice. Josie's picking it up right here at the center line. She puts it back to Harper O. Harper O tries to center it, but the Tigers get in the way on any kind of passes. They bat it into the zone. Josie's to it first as the Tigers are taking the opportunity to change out. Gets over to Ori, just over the blue line. Back in, Lemon picks it up. Lemon does a backhanded pass, but the Tigers were right there. We've got to tie up. All right, Ori chipped it out. Goes to the center ice. Their D picked it up. They pass it forward. Shot on goal off of Cora's leg pad. Glances into this inside wall. Ori's got it. She's out of the zone. She's skating it. She got pinched off just as she was coming into the zone. She's putting a great back check. That girl's fast because Ori's fast. Some great effort there by Ori. Good turnover. Gets over to Paige. Paige is driving in. Shot toward goal, but it glances off the player. Paige drives it all the way in. Puts pressure on. Jesse's on the ice. Andrea's saving this blue line. She gets to it first. Over to Jesse. Back across. We've got that Barton player and Andrea coming into the zone. They get a stick on it just at the last second. Sammy's got it. She's taking it into the Tigers zone. She's got one in front, passes it to Paige. Paige takes a shot off the goalie, hits the back wall and back to the goalie. That was a great setup between those two. We're down to 3:59 in the second, a tied up game. Got Jesse doing the face-off, Sammy in this near, Paige in the far, Andrea on this near D, and Harper S on the outside D. Jesse tries to center it from back behind the net. Gets over to Sammy. Sammy's looking for a pass. Gets right to Harper. Harper does the one-timer, gets the Page. Page tried to get a shot off, but went off into the sticks. Back, Harper S to Page. Page takes another shot. The goalie comes right up to the edge of the blue and covered it up in the crease. We're down to 340. This is a double elimination state championship tournament this weekend. Doesn't matter if we lost every single game, we can come out here and win the state championship. Good centering pass by Page over to Sammy. Puck goes just wide of the net. Page puts it over in that far side. Harper gets to it first. She takes a shot, glances off. Andrus saves the blue line. She's looking for an open pass, gets it over to, puck goes all the way down the ice. That's an icing call against Tigers as they were panicking. They're changing out that line. Rough Riders are going to go take a rest. We have Georgia Benish on D, Grayson, Maeve, and Colley doing a face-off on that far side at 3:08 in the second period. Grayson ties it up, gets back to Benish. Benish, they passed across to Georgia. Georgia got a good turnover here in the neutral zone as two of the Tigers rammed in each other. Georgia slips through three of them, gets over to Benish. Benish back to Grayson. Grayson's getting a lot of pressure. Turnover there right at the center red line. Back to Benish, over to Colley. Colley's taking it in. She's getting tied up. Grayson pushes it into the zone. Colley saves it. She takes a shot toward goal, but it goes a little wide. Tigers pick it up, put it all the way down the ice. Icing call against the Tigers. We have Lemon coming out to the face-off. Josie adds Harper O, Harper S. Turnover there right at the blue line as Tigers get it out. Ads picks it up. She gets tied up. They put it across the ice into our zone. Harper O's to it first, but she's tied up with a Tiger. Tiger brings it into Cora. Puck is loose. Cora went to the other corner, but she reached over and was able to smother the puck with the glove. Oh, thank goodness. We're down to 2:08. That puck was within inches of the goal line. It's like we have same crew out here. Puck goes back behind the net. Harper S gets to it first. She bats it to the corner. Harper O gets it up to Lemon. Lemon up to Josie. Josie's got three in front of her right now. Goes back behind the net. Josie stops it. Gets over to Ads. Ads is behind the net. Up to Harper at the point. Shot toward goal off of Josie. Puck is loose again. Lemon got to it first. She bats it forward back into the Tigers. Tigers put it outside the blue line, but Harper S, we reset. She drives it in. Puck is loose down that corner. Their D picked it up. Ads is putting pressure on. They do a pass up. Lemon does a great side poke check thing. I don't know what it's actually called. Gets up to Harper. Harper to Ads to Josie. Josie tries to bat it toward the net. Tigers are just panicking because we're all over them every time they pass. Harper puts it forward, but it gets picked up by one of their D. That is an offside call again. They were changing on the bench on our side of the blue line. You can't do that. We're down to 62 seconds in the second period with a tied up game, 1-1. Jesse Page. Sammy. Good face-off win by Jesse to Sammy, or Page to Sammy. Sammy puts in deep. Jesse got there first. Sammy's picking up at the goal line. She's looking for a backhanded shot. She is covered. Shot toward goal by Paige, but it goes up and off the stick. Sammy stops it before it gets to Georgia, who's going to save the blue line. She takes a shot off. There's a rebound. Oh, it's bouncing off. Paige gets, oh my gosh, 35 seconds left, and like 2 Tigers are down, and I think it was Jesse all just chipping at that puck, trying to get it in. They blew the whistle. Boy, you would think this was the championship game going versus the first game of the state championship. Good face-off win by Jesse. Their D picked it up first. You'll never guess who has the puck right now. Barton. Paige was able to cut her off. There's a rebound or a turnover there. Paige is putting some back pressure. Oh, we're going to have a tripping call against Paige on Barton. I'm going to start calling out hometown refs here. We're down to 15.6 seconds in the second period. Lemon's doing our face-off. Looks like we have Georgia, Andrea, and Ori on this penalty kill. 15.6 seconds. Face-off, they win it. They try and get a shot off, but Andrea was all over. 10 seconds on the clock. Andrea's putting some pressure on. She goes down. Lemon's putting some back pressure on. It's on this inside circle. Ori's putting some pressure on, and they wasted that 15 seconds. Barton was going to try and take a shot. Barton on the Tigers. All right, well, that was a stressful second period. We'll be back here in about 60 seconds with the final 14 minutes of this game. There's some refs telling the girls to get out to center ice. We're going to be starting out the third period, the last 14 minutes, in a penalty kill for a minute 15 seconds. I didn't mention it earlier, but the Lady Rough Riders have the full roster here. So we have both of our goalies and a few of our players come from very far away, and they came down here to start out this state championship early for us. Sammy's on this near side. Jesse's out doing the face-off. Harper S and Josie on D. Face-off win by Jesse. Gets back to Harper. Harper picks it up in the zone. She's got someone on her back. She passes it forward, goes up and out. Beautiful tumbles, so there's no pressure. Jesse's putting pressure all the way back behind the Tigers' net. Gets a piece of it. Sammy gets some. It gets back to Harper. Harper's at the blue line. She bats it across the wall off a Tiger back into the corner. This is where you do penalty kills on the offense. Puck goes up and over. We have that Barton player taking it all the way in our zone. Josie's putting some pressure on. She backhands it to one of their players. Looks like a play. Harper picks it off. Over to Josie. Josie takes it out of the zone. She gets right across. Shot on goal by Josie. And their goalie decides to cover up until Josie skates up on her. We're down to 26 seconds on this penalty kill, and we're on the offense in the Tiger zone with 13:11 on the clock. Lemon's doing our face-off. We still have Josie and Harper S on the back. Ori's out here. Puck goes over to that far wall. They put it across the ice. Harper's trailing, but they've got that Barton player who's out here. They're trying to get centering. They do a bad pass. Ori picks it off, takes it out of the zone, forcing them back into their zone. They put it back to Harper. Harper S is looking for a path or a zone. She takes it into the zone. She's surrounded, shot on goal. Went right to the goalie, but that's still a shot on goal. We'll take it. That was a successful penalty kill. Multiple shots on the Tigers. We're down to 12:37. Lemon's doing our face-off. Andrea and Georgia in here for Harper S and Josie. Gets over to Ads. Back to Andrea. Andrea chips it back behind the net. Ori's doing some great back pressure. That Tiger player's angry. Gets back to Andrea. Andrea saves the blue line. Gets over to Ori. Ori shot on goal. The puck is loose. She reached forward and stopped it before Ads got there.
Let's go Raiders!
I don't think I'm going to have a voice by this weekend here. Lemon wins the faceoff back to Georgia. Georgia brings it over into the inside wall and just taps it back to that goal line so it sits. Tigers pick it up. They relay up to their forwards. Andrea and Georgia are putting some pressure on, but they come out from the south side. Shot on goal. Cora picked it out of the air like it was nothing. We're down to 11:56. We're getting a change out on everybody. We have Benish, Josie Grayson, Maeve, and Holly. Face off on this near circle. Nice job by Grayson won that face off, but one of their D put it just overshot like point blank on Cora. There was a rebound, got batted forward, across the blue line, and a offside call against the Tigers. Jesse doing the face-off. Paige on this near wall, back to Josie. Josie over to Benish, but it goes off the skate. Benish's got pressure down here, gets it up to Paige. Paige skates it out, gets turned over. Jesse catches it on a pass. Puck is across. Oh, Sammy stops it with the skate right at the ice. Paige is driving it in. Shot on goal. It bounces up off the ice into the chest and into the lap of their goalie. We're down to 11:20. Jesse, Paige, and Sammy here on the front line. Looks like we're going to have the Harper Square D line here. Harper and Harper. Harper S on the outside. Harper O is on this inside. Back to Harper O. Harper O takes a shot, goes in between the legs, glances off Jesse, goes back behind the net. Sammy gets a hold of it on this inside wall as they try to drive it out. Puck was up on the sill of the wall. It's knocked down. They get it over to Harper right in front of the bench. She banks it all the way across the ice, open to Sammy. Sammy picks it up. Puck gets back behind. Jesse puts pressure on, gets up to Harper, gets past Harper, she loses an edge. Harper O gets a poke check right at the blue line. That's a offside. Harper O for the save at the blue line, causing an offside call right at it. Harper and Harper still in D. Lemon, Ads, and Ori out here on the front line. Lemon was a face-off, but it glances off the Tigers' stick, goes back into our zone. Harper S gets a back check. Cora bats it away. Tigers, they take a shot. Harper O closed her legs, kept the puck from getting between. Harper S gets over to Harper O, gets batted up to Ori. Ori's working on getting up possession of another shot toward goal. Oh my goodness. No one touched it as it went by Cora. Harper O bats up on this inside wall. Tiger D puts it back. Goes right to Harper S. Harper bats it across the wall, but they got a stick on it at the last moment. Got up to Ori. Ori bats it forward. The puck is tumbling. It died. Ori does a back check. Tigers got to it. Lemon saves the blue line. She takes a shot. Their Tiger player almost scored on their own goalie as it went off the stick to the goalie. We're down to 9:52 in the third period. Still tied up. Grayson's doing our faceoff. Gets over to Colley. Colley drives it in. Does a centering pass, but we weren't there. Andrea saved it before it went over and out of the zone. Maeve and Grayson are down there battling down that corner. Grayson kicks it, goes back behind the net. Colley gets tied up on one of the D players as, you'll never guess, Barton from their team brings it all the way, skates it down. She lost an edge, but we were putting some good pressure on. She skated it straight down in. The puck is loose right in front of the zone. Andrea batted it away. Sorry, I almost dropped the camera. Colley brings it across the center red line. That Barton player does the turnover. She skates it in solo. Andrea cuts her off, gets it to Grayson. Grayson's looking for an opening, bats it to Maeve. Maeve puts it into the far corner, goes back behind the net. We're down to 8:59. Colley gets tied up right behind the net. Centering pass from Jessie. Josie lost an edge as she passed it across. Centering pass. Puck went wide of the players. Didn't get it. Jessie's picking up back behind Cora. Their player went down off the edge again. Paige gets caught up, gets stuck in their skates. Josie picks it up back behind the net. She bats it forward over to Paige on that far wall. Paige tips it, but their D stopped it before it went out. They put it in deep again. Puck's over in this near corner now. Looks like Benish bats it back. Paige is picking it up in that far corner. She's got one on her. We're just causing the Tigers to skate and skate after that puck. Paige gets tied up. Josie helps her out, picks it up. She passes it, banks it off the wall up to Sammy, out of the zone. Gets over to Jessie. Jessie straight down the center. She's got three in front of her. Turnover there, right inside. Benish over to Josie just as the player's coming on the ice. They bat it forward. Jessie stops it, gets over to Paige. Paige is trying to push her way in. She bats it into the zone. 7:42 on the clock. D to D. Lemons, I don't know if she did that on purpose, but it was perfect timing. She went down, blocked the pass forward. They put it all the way across. Josie got to it first. Puck up and over. No, I thought it went over the glass. She batted it back in. Their D's picking it up and skating it across the center red line. Turnover there at the... There's another blow the whistle louder, ref. He had to blow it twice because they continued to play. There was an offside call on the Tigers. Refs really do have a thankless job, but this is getting to the comical point where they're not blowing the whistles loud enough for the girls right in front of them to hear. Lemon does a great face-off. Ads gets it, puts it up to Ori. Ori's driving in on that far side. She's got that speed. She takes a shot, bounces off the leg pad. Lemon picks up the rebound all the way over in this inside circle. Ads is tied up with the player back behind the goal line, back and forth. The Tigers are fighting themselves. Hey, we have a Barton player taking it all the way across the ice. She is taking tried to take a shot. Looks like Ori and Harper S get it up and out of the zone. That is another offside call as the Barton player was deep in the zone. .6:39 left in this tied-up game. Grayson doing our face-off. Colley and Mabe down here. Puck got tied up in the raft. Oh, they brought it all the way down the center. Shot on goal, and it's in at 6:30. That is goal number 2 for the Tigers with 6:30 left in the game. We have Paige, Jesse, Sammy out here on the front line, Georgia and Andrea back here on D. Face-off win by Jesse. Puck is in the zone. Their D picked it up. Jesse's putting some good pressure on. She's got that speed. They put it over into this wall. Gets to Andrea. Andrea reaches out, puts it back deep across the goal line. Jesse gets tied up right to Sammy. Sammy off the goalie's arm. Puck, Jesse's got it. Oh, the puck goes out to Georgia. Georgia's the blue line. Shot toward goal off of their Tiger player. They get it out and across, and it is an icing call against the Tigers at 5:48. Looks like we have Josie and Harper S. in here on D. Jesse, Paige, and Sammy up here on the front. Good face-off win by Jesse. Over to Sammy. Sammy to Harper. Harper takes a shot, but it glances off a Tiger player. Josie drives forward, gets it batted up to Paige. Paige over to Sammy, but puck went a little bit wide. Jesse stops the pass. Josie stops that pass. Josie saves the blue line again. Shot toward goal. Puck goes just a little wide. Their goalie came feet out of the net, though. Puck gets centered from Sammy to Paige. Paige get tied up on one of their D players. They do a centering pass. Jesse's right there. Paige picks up the rebound off. She goes right through 3 of them, and there's a turnover. Josie's putting some pressure on. Jesse's backing her up. Jesse picks up the rebound off Jesse to Sammy. Back to Josie. There's that Barton player. Josie's putting some pressure on. She's going right in toward court. Backhanded shot goes wide of the net. Paige gets tied up over in that far wall. Jesse's helping her out. They keep poke checking it closer to the blue line, but there's a turnover. They take a shot, but it's off. Puck glances off Cora. There's a rebound. We're down to 4:25 left. Inside circle, they take a shot. Josie bats it down out of the air. They take a centering shot. It's there again, right off the Cora. Puck's loose. Oh my gosh, there's an out. Jesse and Josie were able to bat it away. We are just on the D here. Up to Sammy. Sammy gets it out of the zone as Tigers reset. They bat it back in. Josie picks it up right in front of Cora. Over to Harper S. Harper gets it across to Paige. Paige gets caught up. There's a turnover there. It's back to Sammy. Lemon's on the ice now. Puck gets turned over right there, back into the neutral zone. Paige has got it right as they came in back into the zone. Oh, they got loose. Puck is loose. And they put it in the goal. We're down to 3:32. Tigers' third goal in the third period. Coach Julia is coming out onto the ice to check on Cora, as I don't know if she got hit with the stick or what, but she's staying down on the ice. All right, Cora got back up. They are skating her over to the net. We have Olive coming out into the net with the final 3 minutes and 32 seconds left on the game. I think she got the air knocked out. Puck gets down and across. They just shoved Ori straight down onto the ice as we were going into the zone. Turnover here, back and forth right down below us. Ads and Lemon are working on it. Gets over to the Tiger. Tiger puts it into that back behind the net. Benish picks it up in that far corner. She bats it back, but there's a Tiger right there. Centering shot. Glances off Olive. Another centering pass. We're putting pressure on, but it's back to their D. Their D passes it back into the corner. They do a centering pass again. Ads picks it up. She just puts it across the ice. Good option there. 2:45 icing call against Lady Rough Riders. Grayson wins that face-off because the ref dropped it before their player was even on the point. They're able to take a shot. Olive picks it up, and we'll have another face-off. We have Collie, Maeve, Georgia, Andrea, and Grayson. Pass from Georgia up to Collie. Collie gets out of the zone. Tigers get a hold of it. They pass it centering. They're back into our zone trying to get a shot off or a pass off, but Andrea tied her up all the way across the wall. Fantastic job by Andrea on that D. George is looking for an open pass. She's got one in front, one behind. The puck is loose. It's going to die in that snow. Maeve got to it first. She does a centering pass. It actually bounces off the goalie. Collie gets in there, bats it back, passes it back, centering, just as they bring it out. They get it back to Harper. Harper S is driving it into the zone. She goes through the legs and it goes, oh, come on, the puck was loose. They blew the whistle and the puck was still loose and there was a rebound. Face-off win by Jesse. Back to Harper. Harper takes a shot. There's a rebound. Jesse got on it. Another shot on goal. Over to that far corner. Josie just got back to Harper. Harper had a ton of pressure by that Barton player. Driving it in to Paige. Harper's backing her up over in that corner. Jesse's backing her up on D. We put it back down in the deep corner. They do a centering pass. Josie's putting pressure on. Nice long reach. Forces the player all the way back to the back wall. Jesse, puck gets loose. Jesse picks it up. Gets cut loose up to Sammy. Sammy's going down the ice. She's in the zone. She only got the goalie and a defender. Oh, she got back checked right. She's coming in. She does a centering pass, though. Their goalie tried to jump out and cover it. 42 seconds left in this game. As the Barton, I'm sorry, it's not the Barton player. They put it in deep back behind our net. Harper S picks it up at the goal line. Some back and forth. Looks like there's an impact between Harper and one of their Tigers, and it sounded like they were trying to get a penalty out of it. 15 seconds left. Paige picks it up. She skates back behind Olive. Puck gets loose as there's a turnover here on this inside circle. 5 seconds left. Puck gets back to Josie. Josie just bats it out, back behind the net. Lady Rough Riders had a fantastic game, but a couple extra goals there made the difference for the Tigers. That was hands down our best showing against this team. So this is a double elimination. That was game number 1 lost. So we have one more. We take one more loss. We are done for this tournament. We have a game sometime tomorrow. It's either, I can't remember, it's either at 12:30 noon Mountain Time or 6:30 Mountain Time in the evening. So the good jobs and good games, and thanks to the refs. And we will hopefully catch you on the next game. Rough Riders played amazing tonight. Thanks for watching.